Did you know that crime victims have rights throughout the criminal justice process? Those rights are afforded by statutes found in the Texas Constitution, Article 1, Bill of Rights, Section 30, Rights of Crime Victims, and the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 56A. A victim, guardian of a victim, or a close relative of a deceased victim is entitled to certain rights within the criminal justice system. To begin, let's talk about who Texas law identifies as a crime victim. A victim is defined as any person who has directly experienced an offense of sexual assault, kidnapping, aggravated robbery, trafficking of persons, injury to a child, elderly individual, or disabled individual, family violence, stalking, or someone who has suffered personal injury or death because of the criminal conduct of another. Or is the victim of violation of certain court orders or conditions of bond, violation of protective order preventing offense caused by bias or prejudice, or repeated violation of certain court orders or conditions of bond, and an element of the offense occurred through the commission of an assault, aggravated assault, or sexual assault, or the offense of stalking, regardless of whether that violation occurred with respect to a person whose relationship to or association with the defendant is in a dating relationship, a family member, or a member of the household as described by Chapter 71 of the Family Code. A guardian of a victim is the legal guardian of the victim regardless of whether the legal relationship between the guardian and victim exists because of the age of the victim or due to the physical or mental incompetency of the victim. A close relative of a deceased victim is a spouse, parent, adult sibling, or child. The Texas Constitution affirms that a crime victim has the right to be treated with fairness and respect for the victim's dignity and privacy throughout the criminal justice process. Rights are upon request and not necessarily automatic. Additional rights include, but are not limited to, the right to information, to notification, to be heard, to participate in the criminal justice system, the right to protection, and the right to seek financial remedies. Victims have the right to receive information about rights of crime victims compensation, criminal justice procedures including investigation, plea bargaining, parole, restitution, and appeal, the victim impact statement and how it is used in the criminal justice process, outcome of the case, status of the offender, contact information of those investigating and prosecuting the case. Victims have the right to be notified upon request about criminal justice proceedings and certain key events, including bond, indictment, plea bargains, conviction, sentencing, imprisonment, and release of the offender. There are several points of notification for crime victims at each stage of the criminal justice process, including law enforcement investigation, prosecution, courts, probation, corrections, and appeals. Victims have the right to be heard throughout the criminal justice process. The victim impact statement acts as the victim's voice within the criminal justice system. Prosecutors, judges, parole board members, and commissioners are required to consider the victim impact statement before making certain key decisions. Texas also allows victims to present an oral statement called an allocution to the defendant and the court after sentencing. Victims have the right to participate in the criminal justice process by being present at all public court proceedings related to the offense, subject to the approval of the judge in the case, to include pretrial hearings, arraignment, plea hearing, trial, sentencing, execution. Victims have the right to protection. Laws to protect crime victims include anti-stalking, bond considerations, protection orders, protection from intimidation and harm, privacy protection, and safe and secure waiting areas during proceedings. Victims have the right to seek financial remedies. The following types of financial remedies exist to assist victims: crime victims compensation and restitution. To exercise your rights as a crime victim, guardian of a victim, or close relative of a deceased victim, it is necessary to contact your local victim services professional, such as the Crime Victim Liaison at your local law enforcement agency, Victim Assistance Coordinator at your prosecutor's office or probation office, and the Victim Services Division at the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. It is important to keep your contact information up to date with the appropriate agencies to receive updates and notifications throughout the criminal justice process. If you have any questions regarding these rights and how to exercise them, please contact the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Victim Services Division at 800-848-4284 or victim.svc@tdcj.texas.gov.